Hello everybody, welcome back. This is Herd 85 playing Pro Wrestling Sim as the World Championship Wrestling in the year 2025. So this is episode number 3. As you can see, we're just having a little glance at the title belts, the original skins that they finished up with. Changed the World Heavyweight Championship one to the WWE version. I just think it looked a bit better, to be honest. There's a custom WCW Women's World Championship in there. We've got some inactive titles which potentially I'll bring into at some point. I like the idea of the 6-man title, so yeah, might bring that back. And there's also we've got a television championship there. So yeah, we'll see how the game cracks on and unfolds before we consider some changes. So we are going to go forward and go with behind the curtain. So here we go. We start off with Shane McMahon's office. Shane's seated at the desk, looking satisfied, grin on his face. He's looking through some documents. Standing across from him, we see two WCW legends in the respected road agent Shane Helms and Chavo Guerrero Jr. Shane McMahon gestures to a large monitor on the wall which displays a sleek updated graphic for the WCW Cruiserweight Championship of the world. Shane then says, Helms, Chavo, you know more about this title than anyone. You've lived it, you've breathed it. The Cruiserweight Championship was at one point the hottest thing in wrestling. Innovation, speed, athleticism. It was all there. Helms, it absolutely was, Shane. We broke boundaries. We showed the world what wrestling could be. When you let athletes fly, but over the years it kind of just faded away. Chavo, yeah, it lost its prestige, became an afterthought, and frankly, it was a travesty for a division that once rivaled the main event for excitement. Shane McMahon's it's like, exactly, this is the new WCW. That simply won't stand. We are bringing back the WCW World Cruiserweight Championship, and we're bringing it back with the respect and gravity it deserves. He pauses, but here's the kicker, fellas. This isn't about the past, this is about the future. It's about these global alliances we've been talking about. I've been making some calls, big calls, and been granted special permission that at Starrcade we're not just crowning a champion, we're crowning the champion, and what I'm calling it the Cruiserweight Open, which means the participants of this historic match won't just be from WCW. We're inviting the best high flyers, the most dynamic athletes, the most exciting cruiserweights from across the entire WWE universe. That's right, Helms and Chavo, we are talking Raw, we're talking SmackDown, talking NXT, and some others, maybe TNA and AAA. They'll be stepping into the WCW ring at Starrcade to compete for the Cruiserweight Championship. Helms and Chavo look impressed, jaws dropped. Helms? Whoa, Shane, that's unprecedented. You're opening the floodgates, Chavo. This isn't just bringing the title back, Shane, this is making it the most important Cruiserweight title in the world, overnight. Shane nods in the triumphant look. Precisely, WCW is about to show the world that the sky is the limit, and at Starrcade, the Cruiserweight Open will be a spectacle unlike anything anyone has ever seen. The WCW World Cruiserweight Championship will be the most exciting covenant prize for every single high flyer on the planet. And yeah, that's how the scene ends. Shane claps Helms and Chavo on the back. The segment ends with the Cruiserweight Championship graphic. And that got a steady 82 segment now. So we cut back to the Performance Center. Brock Anderson with Elijah Holyfield are in the ring, going through their drills, looking a bit more sharper, more coordinated. They're actually executing their moves with greater precision and intensity than before. They've clearly been putting in the work, and it shows. Elijah hits a powerful suplex. Brock follows up with a crisp spinebuster, one move familiar to fans of his legendary father. Stepping outside the ring, leaning against the ropes, is Arn Anderson, observing with his critical but approving eye. He nods. Next to him, arms crossed, is none other than Cody Rhodes. He's watching the young duo intently, thoughtful expression on his face, occasionally sharing a brief knowing glance with Arn. Brock and Elijah finished their drill, winded but satisfied. They climb out the ring, approach Arn and Cody. Brock, how was that, Dad? We've been working on those transitions. Arn, better, much better, still got a way to go, but the effort's there and the execution is getting cleaner. You two are starting to move like a real unit. Elijah nods, wiping his brow. We're tired of being the guys who get talked down to. Private party. Found that out quick when you showed up, Arn. Arn chuckles. They talk a big game. Some folks always will, but you two, you're starting to show you can back it up. You're evolving. Speaking of evolving, Cody, have you seen what these boys are capable of? You know what it takes to get to the top. They've been putting in the time. They've been getting under the skin of some of our less disciplined talent. I was thinking this could be a little more of a top tier guidance in the ring, a little push you might say. What if at Starrcade we had a 6-man tag? The three of you show these young lions how it's truly done. The Anderson name with a partner like Elijah and a mentor like you, Cody Rhodes. Cody looks from Brock and Elijah, who are now looking at him with hopeful, eager expressions, to Arn. He takes a moment, his gaze distance, processing the suggestion, the weight of Arn's words, the opportunity for the younger talent, the legacy. It all seems to hang in the air. Cody slowly turns his head, looking back at Brock, then Elijah. He pauses, takes a deep breath, before a slow, contemplative nod begins to form, but the scene fades to black before we get a definite answer. So Arn's suggestion is to have a 6-man tag. Cody's contemplating it. Got 78, so not so bad. So this is effectively the main event of Behind the Curtain. Pardon me. We have a sit-down interview with Velvet Sky, and she has Alexa Bliss, who looks composed, confident, and is leaning against a locker. Velvet fans, I'm here with the newest and most arguably talked about addition to WCW's women's roster, Alexa Bliss. Welcome to World Championship Wrestling. Alexa, thank you, Velvet. It's truly blissful to be here. The energy, the potential is also palpable. If anything, it's everything I've been looking for. Velvet, and you certainly made a statement with your debut, immediately declaring your intentions for the WCW Women's World Championship. Can you elaborate on what that title means to you now that you're here? Alexa smiles wide and hints at something more intense behind it. Oh, Velvet, it means everything. A new era, a new company, a brand new championship waiting to be defined. And there's no one better to define it than the goddess herself. I didn't come to WCW to play nice. I didn't come here to make friends. I came here to conquer, to lead, to prove I am the undeniable top of this division. And that journey begins and ends with that championship belt around my waist. Consider this a promise not just to myself but to every woman in that locker room. The WCW World Women's Championship will be mine. It's not a question of if, it's a question of when. Sky, powerful words from Alexa Bliss. You heard it here first. The WCW Women's Division has a new fierce competitor at its top, and she's coming for the gold. 79, a little bit of improvement on their overness. So backstage, 81 doesn't improve growth because it's classed as unimportant, which basically is a way of saying it's a B show. So we'll have a little bit of look at some news. There we go. Sold some tickets, but it's on YouTube. Stuck it on YouTube to generate a little bit of revenue. Why not? We've got some signings over here. You got Marsha, has left TNA, as she's signed with Seedling. Okay, something a bit different. Heather Reckless has also left TNA, signed for the same company, so they're doing the Japan tour. And let's see if we can see any other stands out. What we got here. Unavailable for bookings again, softball jokes. So these are like the behind the scenes sort of things. You can add the random events, I believe they're called. So you got here like Teal Piper today on Twitter. She says she's began to talk about obsession with fantasy booking. So not sure. She talks about playing games like Extreme Warfare Revenge and Pro Wrestling Thing. Randy Myers talked about how it's all they play in the locker room on a portable computer. So yeah, it created, I thought it might create a friendship when it mentions people, but yeah, a little bit of random dialogue. We've got TNA had Impact. Hardy's beat Trick and Elijah. The Northern Army lose to the Rascals. So TNA, Lee Yang Lee's still the Knockouts champion. So yeah, up next we will have another episode of Thunder, and then we will shortly be approaching Starrcade. So we open this episode of Thunder with a pre-show. We have a 8-person tag. We've got Pagno, Psycho Clown, Trevor Lee, Ultimate Dragon versus Jack Morris, Anthony Green, Joshua Fennick Jr. and Sean Skywalker. This I left it as automatic, and as you can see, Pagano got the win. 2-star match, 53. We then have another pre-show tag match. I wanted to have a look at Kyoko, who I hired from Saray's recommendation. She teamed up with Zarya, and we borrowed the tag team of Asuka and Kairi Sane. Got a 2.5, 66. You might find me borrowing a lot of the WWE talent for one-off appearances. Well, because they're over is the obvious answer for that one. On to the main show. We have another tag team match. Starlight Kid making her first appearance, teaming with Carly Bright, taking on Lady Marvella and Isla Dawn. This got 2 stars. Isla Dawn with the win. 49 overall. Again, it's about building up popularity. We have a note here. Starlight Kid and Carly Bright are a good chemistry, so that's worth noting for the future. And a 3-way match here based on overness. This was Richard Holiday, Sean Legacy and Luke Jacobs. This was based on wrestling skill. Luke Jacobs has got quite high wrestling skill but low overness. We've got a 2.5-star match here and a 55. 71 for match quality, so not bad. So here we go. The arena plunges into darkness and the haunting infernal hum of Alexa Bliss theme music fills the air. Purple flash, lights, a mischievous, almost unsettling giggle echoes through the speakers. The crowd erupts as Alexa makes her way to the ring. Microphone in hand, she is ready for business. She steps in the ring, taking a moment to survey the crowd, her expression unreadable. She raises the microphone. Last week I made it very clear why I'm here. I talked about ambition and defining a new era, about making the WCW Women's World Championship mine, and while talking is fun, I think we've all had enough. She lowers the mic with a gleam in her eye. She says, tonight the talking stops, the time for promises is over, it's time for action. I don't just want to face anyone in WCW, I want to face someone who thinks they're the best, someone who thinks they have what it takes, someone who thinks they can stand toe to toe with the goddess. So consider this an official open challenge. Any woman in the locker room, any woman in the entire WCW women's division, if you think you've got what it takes to step into the ring and face Alexa Bliss in her debut, then prove it. Suddenly the lights flicker, a loud arrogant guitar riff cuts through the air. It's the unmistakable theme music of Tessa Blanchard. She gets a mix of cheers and boos. She's a heel, so she could move. She takes time, reveling in the attention before making her way down to the ring. Well, Alexa, you want someone who thinks they're the best, someone who has what it takes, someone who knows how to define a championship legacy. You're looking at her, sweetheart, and frankly, your little open challenge sounds an awful lot like you're begging for real competition to come out and show you how things are done around here. So consider your challenge accepted. Be warned, Alexa, you just called out the chosen one and you're about to regret it. Tessa then thrusts the microphone into Alexa's chest. And we are ready for the bell. So an 83. Good opening segment between Bliss and Tessa. To the actual match. We've got 2-star, 64, and Bliss definitely got a little bit of openness boost there. Not that she needs it, but yeah, good match. So it all gets a bit chaotic after the match. Alexa's music hits as she slowly rises to her feet. Her raises her arm in victory. Tessa remains laid out, defeated, fuming. So the lights flicker, and out from the back comes Ronda Rousey and Shayna Baszler. The crowd immediately recognise the threat and they erupt in a chorus of boos. Ronda and Shayna waste no time, storm the ring and head straight for Alexa. They immediately target her, throwing some powerful strikes, stomping away. Alexa tries to fight back, but the numbers game is definitely overwhelming. They drag her into the corner, slamming her head into the turnbuckle. As the beatdown continues, Tessa slowly, groggily sits up in the ring. She looks at the scene, Alexa being brutalized by Rousey and Baszler. A wicked smile spreads across her face, and instead of helping, she stands up, walks over and joins in the attack. We now have a 3-on-1 beatdown on Alexa Bliss. She's clearly in deep trouble. Just as it seemed her career might be ending before it truly begins. A new frantic burst of entrance music hits. The crowd roar as Dakota Kai, followed by Saray, sprint down to the ring, but they're not empty-handed. Each woman is armed with a kendo stick. They hit the ring like a whirlwind, swinging the kendo sticks. Ronda, Shayna and Tessa, caught off guard, all of a sudden scramble out the ring and retreat up the ramp. Dakota and Saray stand guard over the battered Bliss, kendo sticks raised, daring the heels to come back and have a fight. They're unwilling to face the kendo sticks. The crowd is on its feet. A bit of cheers for the save, boos for the heels. The camera focuses on Alexa. Just as the segment seems to be winding down, the Titantron flickers up. We have the Evolution on screen. Koki and Stevie Turner are here, seated comfortably, looking regally on their velvet chairs. They both have wide, knowing smiles on their faces, and they're simply mocking and laughing at the entire scene unfolding in the arena. Laughs echo eerily through as the segment fades to black. So that brawl here got a 97, so yeah, that's pretty good storyline wise. So 86 overall, that is a very good segment. Triple threat, some of the cruiserweights here, Endo, King and Rich Swann, and Rich Swann picks up the win. 2-star match, 56. We have some tag teams backstage in a hallway. There's arguing going back and forwards. We catch snippets of what's been heard. So you got the Street Profits. They're hyping themselves up, dancing around. Montez says, "Listen up. When you talk championship, you talk profits. We're bringing a party. We're bringing the gold." Dawkins, "Yeah, we deserve the shot more than anyone." We've got War Machine. Eric and Ivar, they're pushing people out of the way. The sheer size and intimidation cutting through the arguments. Eric's like, "Silence weaklings. These titles belong to the true warriors. War Machine will crush all that stand in their path." A Private Party are trying to interject with a swagger, pointing fingers. Isaiah saying, "Please, you two big lugs. You think you got charisma? The tag team gold needs to shine, and nobody shines like a private pie. Skyscrapers, which is Corbin and Dijak. They're snarling, backing other teams against the wall. Corbin's like, you all sound like chihuahuas. This isn't about dancing and being cool, it's about brutality, and we're the ones brutal enough for those titles. You got Brock and Elijah, they chive up, they're looking to stand their ground, looking defiant among the seasoned teams. Elijah, we've been putting in the work, we've got the legacy and the muscle, those titles are meant for us. You've also got other teams, Heights, Bourne, Green, Morris, Pango and Psycho Klein, Clarion making their own cases. Eventually Shane McMahon appears. Enough. How do you know? Do you know how much money I'm paying you all to stand here and bicker like children? I get it, you're hungry, you all want to be WCW Tag Team Champions. And let me assure you, none of you have been forgotten about. Not a single one. In fact, I'm in the process of finalising that exact match, that scenario, to determine our first ever the return of the WCW Tag Team Championship. This isn't about handing out titles, it's about earning them and proving you're the best tag team in the world. So all this arguing is useless. What you can do, what you will do, is go out there any night you're scheduled and impress me. Show me why your team above all deserve the title shot. Show me the chemistry, show me the dominance, show me the star power. The WCW World Tag Team Championships are coming, and the teams that impress me the most will be the ones fighting for it. Now clear out, some of you have matches and all of you have a point to prove. And there we go, 68 for that segment, lots of people in it, but it's time to obviously acknowledge the tag team scene. Singles match, we have Dolph Ziggler carrying on his return, defeating Johnny Gargano from the WWE, of course. 3.5 star, good match, 72 overall. Backstage promo, we have a dark atmospheric shot of Karrion Kross. He has a microphone in hand. He's also got Scarlett present. Braun, Priest, Braun. He pauses, letting the names hang in the air, each one a separate, deliberate thought. You may have shared a ring with me. You may have even thought you understood me, but understanding is a luxury you can no longer afford. He takes a step closer to the camera, his eyes narrowing slightly. You will, while you are all playing games, making your grand statements, I was watching, learning, measuring, and I saw what you truly are, vulnerable. Do not underestimate me. Do not mistake my patience for weakness. And do not forget the path of destruction I crave. I am not merely here to participate, I am here to conquer. And the gold, the championships, they're not my aspirations, they are my destiny. It is not a matter of if I will hold them again, it's only a matter of when. And when that time comes, boys, you will all fall and you will all pray. Cross drops the microphone and Tony turns to the back, melting back into the shadows as the ticking sound swells and then abruptly cuts to black. So a very good promo from Kross, scoring an 88 as he cuts a promo on his fellow main eventers. So in a singles match we had Montez Ford, who had Angela Dawkins. We had Baron Corbin, who had Dijak at ringside. And Corbin picks up the win, 2-star match and a 65. This is the main event. We have Braun Strowman again teaming up with Damian Priest to take on the War Machine. Braun Breaker got involved, causing a disqualification. And just to elaborate on it, Braun Strowman spears Damian Priest. This got 2.5 star, but 75 overall. Following the match, The referee immediately signals for a DQ. The bell rings rapidly. War Machine, looking completely bewildered by the sudden turn of events, shake their heads and wisely just exit the ring. They make their way at the ramp. They want no part of this chaos. They've got bigger fish to fry. They want the tag titles, so they're not getting involved. Off they go. In the ring, all hell breaks loose. Strowman, furious at the DQ, he attacks Braun. Immediately charges at Breaker. Braun meets him with a barrage of stiff forearms. Priest slowly starts to stir, clutching his ribs. He sees Braun. Immediately launches himself into the fray. It's a wild, uncontrollable, three-way brawl. Punches, kicks are thrown, body crashes against the ropes and the ring. This is a whirlwind of destruction. The brawl spills out to the arena floor when we get back in again and then back in the ring again. Strowman sends Braun flying with a monstrous shoulder tackle. He turns to Priest, who retaliates with a flurry of strikes. The chaos is absolute and the audience is on its feet, roaring. Suddenly, as all three men are tangled in this brawl, the arena is plunged into complete darkness. The only sound is a frenzied roar of the crowd, then silence followed by confusion. A moment of eerie silence hangs in the air, broken only by uneasy whispers from the crowd. Then we hear three brutal chair shots echo through the darkness. Crack, crack, crack. After a tense few seconds, the lights come back on, revealing a shocking scene in the centre of the ring. Karrion Kross is the only man standing, a steel chair still clutching in one hand. Braun Strowman, Damian Priest and Bron Breakker are all sprawled out, incapacitated around him. Kross slowly drops the chair, a cold smirk on his face. He calmly walks over to a struggling Bron Breakker, who is slowly trying to push himself up, dazed and disorientated. Kross grabs Bron by the hair, yanking him to his feet, holding him steady as Braun groans. Karrion Kross leans in close. His voice, a chilling whisper, can be heard clearly through the arena speakers. I told you to stick to my plan. Without another word, Kross effortlessly hoists Braun Breakker up and plants him squarely with his devastating finisher, the Kross Jacket DDT. Slamming Braun's head into the canvas, Bron Breakker is out cold. Kross stands tall over the fallen bodies of Strowman, Priest and now Breakker. He raises his arm, a picture of absolute chilling dominance as Scarlet, haunting, fall and prey messages echoes through the arena one last time. Camera tightens on Kross' impressive smile. He's standing victorious among the wreckage. The scene fades to black as the show ends, leaving the audience stunned at the carnage that's been left. And that pulled in a 91 rating. So overall, we score an 80 for Thunder. Popularity is growing. Best segment, we got a 91, so that's a pretty good segment in my eyes. And we are now arriving at Starrcade, which is obviously amazing to get to. Let's have a little read. So some news. So good amount of ticket sales, and we pulled in 1.95 viewers. So the first one got the most, 1.9, ain't bad for this week. We've got Martinez, Mercedes Martinez re-signing with the WWE, joining from AEW. Let's have a little look. So we've got some people planning to push some stars. I like to have a little gander. If I recognise people, here we go. Will Ospreay and Axel. So, as you can see, he may or may not be our Grande Americano. But anyway, they have a bit of back and forward about comedy wrestling. Looks like known as Will Ospreay seems to be in favour of it. Have they fallen out? Does it actually count? There you go, look, they've had an actual falling out over this segment here. So making people laugh is something that isn't an art, it may be they just don't get on. So it's pretty cool to see that you can have random people falling out over something such as comedy wrestling. We've got, where's Briscoe? Oh, remember when he was relevant? Going on a rant on Twitter. What have we got here? AEW have ROH on Honor Club. Will Ospreay beating Darby Allin, retaining the Pure Championship. Have a scroll down. There it is. I got a 90 for him. That would have been a cool match. Hounds of Hell versus Jurassic Express. Ace Austin there. Swerve and Okada appeared. Swerve beat Cutler. So yeah, not a bad Ring of Honor. And we got SmackDown. So we'll actually have a look through SmackDown. So we've got Selena beating Katana James. Cody Rhodes beating Sella Sequoia. Stephanie Fakir beating Maya Jax. Eli Dragunov beating Rusev. Angle with Johnny Gargano and The Rock. And then with Ciampa and Uncle Howdy. We have Sami Zayn and The Rock, who lost to DIY. Roman Reigns and The Miz look like that. Bianca Belair beat Lash Legend. Main event, we have Tiffany Stratton defeating Lara Valkyrie, and she retains the US Championship as she's the Women's US Champion after earlier beating Chelsea Green. So, and we've got CMLL reaching cult size. So that, everybody, will be the end of this week's episode. I hope you still enjoy it. I hope you like the promos. The promos are written by this AI assist over here. I sort of type stuff in, and AI assist gives me the promos. I sort of cut them down and try and make them my own. So the next show is of course going to be Starrcade, where we will be crowning new champions across the board. And yeah, hope you're all enjoying it. Please feel free to share the video, share some love, share me some likes, and as always, take care everybody.